We're already in 2025 and the world is more unpredictable than ever. Economic instability, civil unrest, cyber threats, and extreme weather events are no longer distant possibilities. They are today's realities. If you haven't locked down your survival plan yet, now is the time. In this video, we'll walk through the ultimate 2025 prepper checklist, covering everything from food security to defense, power, and medical preparedness. By the end, you'll have a clear action plan to ensure you and your loved ones are ready for whatever happens next. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to Doomsday Prepper for expert survival strategies, SHTF scenarios, and self-reliance tips. Now, let's get started. 1. Long-term food storage and sustainability. Food shortages and supply chain disruptions continue to be a growing concern. The goal for 2025 should be at least a 1-year supply of non-perishable food per person in your household. Stock up on freeze-dried meals, canned goods, rice, beans, and grains stored in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers to maximize shelf life. However, simply having stored food isn't enough. You need to understand food rotation and preservation techniques to keep your supply fresh and usable. Growing your own food is just as crucial as storing it. A survival garden with heirloom seeds ensures a renewable food source that won't be affected by GMO contamination. Focus on nutrient-dense crops like potatoes, sweet potatoes, beans, and squash. If you have space, consider livestock like chickens, rabbits, or goats, which provide protein and dairy. For those in urban environments, hydroponic and container gardening are excellent options for growing food indoors or on a balcony. Food preservation methods are just as important. Learn dehydrating, canning, fermenting, and smoking meats to extend the life of your food. Invest in manual grain mills and solar ovens to prepare food without electricity. If possible, create a root cellar for storing fresh produce long-term. Lastly, don't forget comfort foods. Having treats like honey, chocolate, or coffee can boost morale during tough times. 2. Water storage and purification. Without clean water, survival is impossible. The rule of thumb is at least 1 gallon per person per day, but in reality, you need much more for cooking, cleaning, and hygiene. Aim for a minimum of 100 gallons per person stored at home. Use food-grade barrels, underground cisterns, and rainwater collection systems to secure your supply. However, stored water can run out. That's why having multiple ways to purify water is just as important as storing it. High-quality filters like Berkey, Sawyer, or LifeStraw can remove bacteria and parasites. Water purification tablets, bleach, and boiling methods serve as backups. If you live in an area where water might be scarce, scout alternative sources like nearby streams, lakes, or underground wells. Another often overlooked aspect of water security is transporting and carrying water. If you need to collect water from an outside source, collapsible water containers, bladders, or portable reservoirs are essential. Hand pumps and well buckets can be life-saving if grid power fails and municipal water stops flowing. Sanitation is just as important as hydration. Contaminated water can spread deadly diseases, so disinfection and proper waste disposal are crucial. Make sure you have a portable toilet, biodegradable waste bags, and disinfectants to manage hygiene when water access is limited. 3. Home and personal security. The longer a crisis lasts, the more desperate people become. If you're not prepared to defend your home and family, you're vulnerable. Start by hardening your home. Reinforce doors with security bars, upgrade to heavy-duty locks, install window security film, and add motion sensor lighting and surveillance cameras. Fencing, thorny bushes, and layered defenses deter potential intruders. When it comes to personal defense, firearms are the best equalizer. If you own a firearm, train regularly and ensure every responsible adult in your home is comfortable using it. Stockpile ammunition, spare parts, and cleaning supplies. But firearms aren't the only tools. Pepper spray, stun guns, tactical batons, and hand-to-hand combat skills are valuable, especially in close-quarters situations. Community defense is another factor. If you have trusted neighbors, consider forming a mutual assistance group to help defend each other's homes. In an SHTF scenario, lone wolves won't last long. Having a reliable team can be the difference between survival and defeat. 4. Medical and first aid preparedness. Medical emergencies don't wait for convenient times, and in a disaster, hospitals could be overwhelmed or inaccessible. Every prepper should have a fully stocked medical kit with trauma supplies, tourniquets, chest seals, wound dressings, OTC, and prescription medications. Antibiotics. Fish antibiotics are a viable option. Herbal remedies and essential oils. Medical reference books, like Where There Is No Doctor. First aid training is critical. Take a course in CPR, wound care, suturing, and basic emergency medicine. Have a stockpile of vitamins and supplements to maintain long-term health. And don't neglect dental hygiene, as infections can become life-threatening without proper care. If you or a family member rely on prescription medications, work on securing a long-term supply and explore natural alternatives in case pharmaceuticals become unavailable. Health is wealth, especially when survival is on the line. 5. Communication and information gathering. When disaster strikes, staying informed and connected can mean the difference between life and death. In a major crisis, cell towers, internet services, and mainstream news outlets may fail or become unreliable. You need alternative ways to communicate and gather intel on what's happening around you. Start with a hand crank or solar-powered emergency radio. NOAA weather radios provide critical alerts about incoming storms, fires, or other hazards. Shortwave and ham radios give access to unfiltered real-time reports from people on the ground. If you haven't already, get your ham radio license and practice using it before an emergency hits. For short-range communication, walkie-talkies, FRS, GMRS radios, or CB radios are essential, especially in a grid-down situation where phones don't work. If you're prepping with a group or family, establish a communications plan with set frequencies and codes to keep in touch securely. Another often overlooked aspect is intelligence gathering. Social media and mainstream news are often censored or misleading during crises. Alternative news sources, encrypted messaging apps like Signal, and offline survival manuals help you make informed decisions. Lastly, keep physical copies of important documents, including maps, emergency contacts, first aid guides, and survival books. In a digital blackout, printed information is your lifeline. 6. Financial preparedness and bartering strategy. If economic collapse happens, your money in the bank might be worthless overnight. Inflation, cyber attacks, or bank failures could limit access to your funds, making alternative forms of wealth essential. First, ensure you have cash on hand. Small bills are best for day-to-day transactions when digital systems fail. Next, diversify your assets. Gold, silver, and other precious metals hold value when fiat currency loses purchasing power. Cryptocurrency stored in cold wallets is another option, though it depends on internet access. Beyond traditional money, bartering will become a primary method of trade in a full-scale SHTF scenario. Stockpile high-value barter items such as ammo, highly valuable but only trade with trusted individuals. Medical supplies, antibiotics, painkillers, bandages, alcohol and tobacco. Luxury items that hold strong trade value. Batteries and fuel, critical for off-grid living. Coffee, salt, sugar, and spices. Small comforts boost morale. Additionally, skills are the ultimate currency when money is useless. If you can fix cars, purify water, provide medical aid, or grow food, you'll always have something valuable to offer. Invest in learning new survival skills. They might be more valuable than gold. 7. Bug-out plan and mobility readiness. While bugging in is the preferred strategy for most preppers, there are situations where staying put is simply not an option. Natural disasters, civil unrest, or chemical spills might force you to evacuate. If you wait until the last minute to plan, it's already too late. Start with a well-packed bug-out bag, Bob, for each family member, containing 72+ hours of food and water, fire-starting tools and shelter supplies, tactical clothing and sturdy footwear, first aid kit and personal medications, navigation tools, maps, compass, GPS, self-defense items. But a bug-out bag alone isn't enough. You need a destination and multiple routes to get there. Secure a bug-out location in advance, whether it's a friend's house, a rural retreat, or public lands. Keep your vehicle fueled and well-maintained, with a secondary mode of transport like a bike or folding kayak in case roads are blocked. If evacuation is necessary, timing is everything. Have triggers that determine when to leave, whether it's a power outage lasting over 72 hours, military roadblocks, or escalating violence in your area. The first ones out avoid the panic. The last ones out face the chaos. 8. Mental and psychological resilience. Survival is not just about supplies. It's about mindset. Even the best prepared individuals can break under pressure if they haven't conditioned themselves mentally and emotionally for prolonged hardships. Start with mental toughness training. Regular exposure to controlled stress, like cold showers, endurance exercises, and survival challenges, builds psychological resilience. Meditation, breathing techniques, and stoic philosophy help you stay calm in high-pressure situations. Develop a routine for maintaining morale. Whether it's daily exercise, journaling, or spiritual practice, having a structured way to cope with uncertainty keeps you from spiraling into fear or paranoia. Group dynamics also matter. Isolation increases mental stress, so building a community of like-minded individuals provides emotional support. Train with your family, hold survival drills, and practice tough scenarios together to increase group cohesion. Lastly, never underestimate the power of humor, music, and storytelling. In long-term survival situations, keeping spirits high is just as important as food and water. 9. Advanced survival skills and training. No amount of gear can replace real-world survival skills. If you haven't trained in essential survival techniques, your gear is just dead weight. Every prepper should master fire making in all weather conditions, navigation without GPS, basic and advanced first aid, including suturing, splinting, and wound care, hand-to-hand combat and self-defense, trapping, hunting, and fishing, foraging for wild edibles and medicinal plants, water sourcing and purification techniques, urban survival skills, lockpicking, bypassing obstacles, gray man tactics. The best way to learn is by doing. Take classes, join survival groups, or attend bushcraft training events. Hands-on experience is worth more than any YouTube video or book. 10. Final thoughts. The time to prepare is now. 2025 is already here, and the window to prepare is closing fast. Supply chains are unstable, tensions are rising, and uncertainty is at an all-time high. If you haven't fully committed to prepping yet, there's no more time to wait. Remember, preparedness isn't just about having the right gear. It's about mindset, skills, and community. Focus on building self-reliance, securing your resources, and staying adaptable. What's the most important thing on your 2025 prepper checklist? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. And don't forget to subscribe to Doomsday Prepper for more survival guides, prepping strategies, and real-world SHTF scenarios. Stay safe, stay ready, and I'll see you in the next video.